Hello, today we will be covering the Assure model for Group 6. For analyzing learners, Ms. Stewart's class is made up of 7th graders. They are skilled in the use of computers and mobile phones, but they don't necessarily know about copyright issues. They are mostly tactile and visual learners, and we have 5 students that are English learners. To be able to differentiate for each of these students, most of the presentation is definitely geared towards the visual learners. The tactile learners will be able to utilize the group discussions and going over the resources that they have brought with them. For the English learners, we will have assigned groups so that all of them have peer assistants that can work with them. The teacher will also be having more checking for understanding throughout the lesson for the English learners to make sure that they understand the concepts. Next, we have state standards and objectives, and we have 2 objectives. Objective 1 is students will be able to determine what copyright is, why it's important, and what it looks like to have it violated. And Objective 2, students will be able to complete the final project for Ms. Stewart's reading class with the adequate information about copyright laws. So we're hoping by the end of this lesson that they are able to understand all concepts and they'll be able to utilize their knowledge of copyright laws for this project and any project that they have in the future. Select strategies and resources. For our strategies, the lesson is designed for Ms. Stewart's class specifically. Everything that they'll need is for them. So the resources that we have available for them is the PowerPoint presentation with audio, making sure that the 7th graders will be able to understand what is being talked about. There's also a handout and a rubric. And the rubric goes over how the teacher will be able to assess the group discussion that they'll have, also if they're able to list the 3 copyright rules, and if they can differentiate between copyright versus trademark. Next, we have utilize resources. And to utilize resources, we have to go through the 5 Ps. So for the first one, preview resources, we're going to double check the presentation and handouts and make sure that they are spell checked and are able to be understood. Number 2, prepare the resources. We're going to make enough copies for the students, check presentation audio to make sure that everything sounds okay, and have pencils at the ready. Number 3, prepare the environment. We're going to arrange the seats for group assignments since they will have their group work. Number 4, prepare the learners. Students will have already looked at websites for their project for Mrs. Stewart, and they will bring them for the assignment towards the end. And number 5, provide the learning experience. We're going to make sure the students are engaged throughout and that they are able to understand the concepts that are being taught. Next, we have require learner participation. For the first part, we have engagement and new skills, and that will mainly be in their groups, which will be groups of 4, and they will evaluate the resources or the websites that they were looking at before for the project, which they will have brought with them. Then we have assessment, which we're going to be able to assess by seeing if they know the difference between a copyright and a trademark, and also if they're able to state the 3 laws that they learned from the lesson. And lastly, we have feedback from the librarian and teacher, which will provide feedback throughout the lesson so that the students are able to grasp all concepts. Lastly, we have evaluate and revise. And for evaluate, we have the rubric that we are using to evaluate the group activities and their overall understanding. So we're able to tell how well they're able to differentiate between copyright and trademark, and also if they're able to state the 3 laws on copyright. And then we have revise, which will utilize this information from the assessments so that we're able to make any changes necessary, check for understanding, or being able to change the lesson or add on to the lesson later on. Thank you for listening and have a great day.